The Bulls versus the Bears. Get in the game. www.tackletrading.com.
Hello everybody, this is Coach D with TackleTrading.com, here to give you a quick market update and recap. Let's start out here in the Trade Center and look at the economic calendar, see what's coming up on the docket here. This week is going to be an interesting week as the market's out testing new highs. Some of the things we want to watch out for, we got some FOMC minutes, not an official policy statement, but anytime the Feds talk, that can make the market move. That's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Then we got Thursday, some jobless claims, some Philadelphia Fed business outlook. We got some home sales, things to keep an eye on there. And then we've got a consumer price index on Friday and a little Janet Yellen speaking on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So those are the things we want to keep an eye on. As we drop out, and let's take a look at the actual market. Let's start out with the S&P E-mini futures. That's where I like to start out. Now, the S&P E-mini futures are kind of my go-to place to track the market. And we see the market break out and testing new waters, new highs. We see it moving on, a little bit below average volume, and it's the thing we need to be watching for this week is the retest, whether or not it retests. See, right now it's kind of poking its head up there, and it's not sure whether or not it belongs. The NASDAQ has not yet cleared the highs, if you look at the NASDAQ NQ. So the NASDAQ is got those highs. It cleared the previous highs, which are a little bit stronger. It poked its head up there and it failed the retest. And now it's out there kind of testing to see if it belongs again. Let's look at the Dow. And the Dow is also poking its head out and testing those new highs. And it's barely poking its head out. And it has yet to really close above resistance. So it has yet to make that big move above resistance. And then one I think an interesting scenario here right now is the Russell 2000. As we look at the Russell 2000, you'll see that it popped up and it's kind of in that kiss goodbye zone. And it's hanging out in here, watching out. We're going to watch out for that lower high. It's the only real index that actually violated its trend zone. So it's potentially giving us that sign for reversal. We'll just keep an eye on it. Of course, it can go higher. And we'll look to the S&P as kind of our go-to index. So in that regard, the S&P is testing those new highs, and we just want to keep an eye on it. And a lot of stocks will be also clearing new highs, so as you're looking for breakouts, you won't be too hard pressed to find them. And as we're here in the last little bit of May, one of the things I want to point out to you is that seasonally, let's actually look at this real quick here. Let's look at the S&P index. And we're going to go in here, and we're going to go to the style, and we're going to go to the settings here. We're going to go to the style, down to the chart mode. I'm going to do the seasonality mode. Once in the seasonality mode, we'll go to the style, we'll go to the settings, and we'll go get 20 years weekly. And then once we're in this zone, the line up here represents the current S&P, down here represents the history and the averages. To free that up, we have to come in here and actually go to manual, and then we have to come in here and zoom in on just the section we want to see. So there we can actually see the seasonal play out for, this is each month as it progresses, for the market. And as we look at May, seasonally, this is where the market tops out. And the last 2 weeks of May, if you look in here, you can see from my hash mark that it tends to run up. And the old stock market saying in May, sell and go away, it looks like it holds true as June tends to get just crushed and July tends to be a strong month of recovery. So those are kind of how the averages work, and that information for the last 20 years gives us a general cycle. So we might be watching for a little bit of a last hurrah, and any bullish strategies we take, I think, need to be really cautious, really, shorter term, nothing significantly long term. And as we enter into the summer months, we're looking for chop. This might be the time to look for more of your theta trades, a lot more of your condors, maybe things like those bear call spreads and those bull put spreads with some good timing. So that's kind of what we're looking at. In the meantime, oil, let's take a look at that real quick here and go back to our standard setting. Let's go to style, back to chart mode, and go back to the standard setting. And then we'll go into our daily time frame here and kind of get a look at it. And it finally took a dip. It's trading in a significant support resistance zone, so we're going to keep an eye on that. And peak oil tends to happen in July, so we're going to keep an eye on that in general. And let's take a look at the dollar/DX. And the dollar index coming down, and actually puts in a nice little pop off of a support zone. So we got a nice pop, possible engulfing scenario there as the dollar recaptures some strength. And so that's going to be an interesting thing to watch, especially on the foreign currency parts. If we keep an eye on the Forex report, that'll give you some great trading ideas in there. This is Coach D with TackleTrading.com. Hoping you're having a great week. Good luck, good trading. We'll see you in the clubhouse.
Isn't it time you got off the sidelines and tackled trading? Join our online community of active traders where we make it happen every day. Stocks, options, futures, and Forex at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.